The report provides members with the details of a complaint which has been received about the way the petition was handled. In its introduction, the report confirms what constitutes a valid petition according to the Council's petition scheme, and at paragraph 2 on page 12 of the agenda pack, it describes that if more than 1,500 valid signatures are received, that this will trigger a council debate. However, it does also go on to say that on some occasions this may not be possible, and consideration will then take place at a subsequent meeting. Also at paragraph 2, it sets out that if there are statutory processes which must take precedence over the petition, then the council is legally bound to adhere to them. The petition was launched online via the council's web pages on the 15th of November, and the Democratic Services team members had numerous phone calls with the original lead petitioner regarding the wording, the intended end date, and some issues around some people not being able to sign the petition online. For clarity, I have included the full wording of the petition in the report, which is set out from paragraph 4 on page 12. A summary of the email which I sent to the lead petitioner is given at paragraph 5 on page 14, and the full email trail is included at appendix A from page 17. So the purpose of this email was to inform the lead petitioner that it would not be possible to arrange a debate at the next council meeting due to the likelihood of members predetermining either the site allocations proposed in the draft local plan or the voicing of opinions ahead of formal planning applications being determined. I did, however, give full details of how we intended to give further exposure to that petition, especially given the high number of signatures, and what we were going to do was to include the full wording of the petition in any planning committee reports which were presented, and included any of the site allocations listed in the title of the petition, which is set out on page 13 at the top. That indeed did happen, and for members and for members of the public, I've prepared a timeline of events which is tabled for you to see, because I think it's important to note how many times the petition has either been referenced or indeed published via agenda reports, and or mentioned and given updates at either council meetings or meetings of the executive. Further to that, I also emailed all members, all elected members, and gave them updates as to what would happen with that petition. The email trail at Appendix B includes questions and answers from the lead petitioner following my original email, and that seeks to confirm some of those issues which has just been repeated in the deputation. The complaint itself was received on the 21st of February and is shown at the Appendix B in full. And Appendix C shows an email trail of correspondence between Sam and the lead petitioner, which again is following up to that formal complaint being received and seeking to clarify some of the issues. I would point out again, to reiterate what you've already said, Chairman, to members, that we have already indicated that some of the required responses, some of the required actions listed by the complainant are not possible to be actioned. So, for example, it is not possible, it's still not possible at this moment to set a date for the debate to be heard at council, because we are not at the stage of that draft local plan coming forward. Similarly, it is not possible to recall any planning applications that have already been through the planning committee, and that's because of the planning process and the rules around, statutory rules around planning applications. And indeed delaying granting planning permission to future applications. I'm sure my colleague Richard will be able to give more details about the timelines for determining planning applications. So the report is there to sort of set out the whole background, everything that's happened, and the full email trail, so that you can see the sorts of communication that we've been engaged in. As it's set out in the report, so I'm just circling back to it, the matters for consideration for the Scrutiny Board, at paragraph 12, the Scrutiny Board is asked to review the content of all of this correspondence. I'm very happy to take any questions on any of that. The steps taken by the Council and the reasons given in the complaint. And the Scrutiny Board is asked to determine if the way in which the petition has been handled thus far is correct and in accordance with the Constitution, Standing Orders and Code of Conduct for members. So it's quite important for the Scrutiny Board to, again, be aware through you, Chairman, that we cannot, at this point, still cannot debate the petition or the content of the petition with regarding to the development sites and whether or not that can be taken forward, because we're still bound by those issues, in my opinion. And I would just clarify that the conversations that I have had throughout this process include conversations with the monitoring officer and with the solicitors who have given advice on this from the legal standpoint. Happy to take any questions, Chairman.